everybody, going back to the beginning. We are live here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, TikTok. Please make sure to watch us live. We have an amazing guest over here, Anthony Brown from A Nice Touch Auto Detailing. Very excited to share with you about him and his company and what he does and what he's going to bring to you. It's unbelievable the services he has and how he does things and why it's important for you to watch this show. Not to mention a local business from North Haven. Fantastic guy. Please make sure you're watching us. If you're not already, go to YouTube, Team Powerhouse Real Estate. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. In addition to that, Instagram, Facebook, Team Powerhouse Real Estate. Also, you got us on Spotify and Twitch and Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere you want us to be. Take us with you in the ride on the car. We can't wait for it to be with you every day of the week, whenever you're ready for us. Anyway, Anthony Brown, A Nice Touch Auto Detailing. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with the fact that you're not just a regular guy. You're a family guy first.
Yes, sir.
You've got this beautiful, amazing wife. Her name is Tiana.
Yes.
And she is somebody that we met about 8-9 years ago, almost 10 years ago together.
Yeah.
Wonderful people. You've got these two gorgeous kids. I can't believe how this amazing life has changed over. You got Mason and Ashton. And how old are they?
So Mason is 6 years old, and Ashton, he just turned 2 on Sunday.
Unbelievable. Life has changed so much for you.
Literally. Like I said, I don't know where the time has gone, but like I said.
You know what you're doing. You're working hard, the both of you. I know that Tiana is a hard worker. She's a nonstop machine, and she pushes you to be better, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
I know that she does, because I can see the amount of things you've done in your life to change and make better places for yourself. You've worked so hard. Where did you start doing auto detailing?
So I always kept my cars clean. I always kept my bikes clean. Like I said, I've been detailing for over 15 years, but I've been doing it professionally for 5 years. So it kind of landed in my lap, per se. So a couple of people asked me, like, "Oh, do you detail?" I would always say no. And then it was that one time I said, "You know what? I'll give it a try." So I detailed one car, and I actually liked it. And then the customer liked it. So I'm like, I think I got something. So then after that, I got a couple of tools, and then
a couple of tools.
Yeah,
I think I'm more than a couple of tools. Let's be honest with you here.
Yeah, no, I mean the tools is what makes the job easier.
Right.
Because when I first started, it was taking me like hours on one rim, but that's because I didn't have the right tools or the right product. So once I started doing my research and whatever, and like I said, it was history from there.
So you started back home in the garage of your house in East Haven, is that right?
Yep. So I started from my driveway. I had 1-2 cars or whatever. Then after that, I had more cars, and I started getting high-end cars, and then that's when I knew I really had something. And I went and got certified. And yeah.
So what does it take to get certified to be an auto detailer? Because I don't think people realize, in order to be first of all, you're a professional at everything you do, number one.
Yes.
So you said to yourself, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going all the way in.
Yes.
And how did you find out about being certified as an auto detailer? I never heard this before.
So I went and I researched on the internet, like more ways to better myself. And then I seen that you can get certified. So I went through Simon Eyes and East Hartford. So I went through them. It was a 2-day course, it was actually a 3-day course, I believe, or 2-day. But I went straight into hands-on because I knew the amount of stuff that I knew. So I didn't have to go through the paper part because I knew what I knew. And I'm glad that I did. And like I said, it makes a difference of being certified and not being certified. That's what people look for.
Absolutely.
But
I think when you say you're certified in something, it brings more to the table: knowledge, experience, and also the actual product you end up producing at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
So auto detailing, starting your business in your house. So how many years have you been doing? You said 15 years doing auto detailing?
Yeah, so I've been detailing for 15 and then professionally for the past 5 years.
And what qualifies, and I wrote this down because I want to make sure I get this question correctly.
Mm-hmm.
What qualifies an auto detailing versus a car wash?
So a car wash, typically, like you go through your normal car wash.
Machine comes through.
Yeah.
You got this machine, yeah.
So nothing against the car washes, but pretty much when you go to a car wash, you're pretty much paying for them to destroy your car. So most car washes is not pH balanced. So
pH balance.
yeah.
Tell us more about pH balance. I never heard this before.
So when you so when you have pH balance, it's the neutral or whatever. So some of them you have acidics or alkaline or whatever. So you want it to be in the middle. So you want to know what you're putting on your car. So you have the car washes that put in cheap detergent or whatever it is on your car so they can make more money. To stretch whatever it is.
So the pH balance comes from the actual products you're using in with the water to help make sure that when you're cleaning the car, that it has a different kind of clean.
Yeah, and everything is balanced. And like I said, you're not stripping your clear coat or whatever you
It's
have.
better for the paint.
Yes.
Better for the polishes that you may be using on cars. We're going to talk more about the polishes later in the show because you do a lot of kind of things you do to the outside of the car.
Then to kick back on what you said, so for the car wash, you have 1 million people touching your car.
This is true.
So you have them drying your tires. It didn't go into your paint. It didn't go into your windows.
We're using the same probably hand cloths as well that they used on the tires and then on your car.
Yep. Which is not good. Like I said, whatever's for the tires is for the tires. Whatever's for the paint is for the paint. Whatever's for the windows is for the windows. Whatever's for the interior is for the interior. And then, like I said, why would you want 1 million people touching your car if you know you have a professional? 1 to 2 people touching your car at once. I would prefer 2 people than 10 people.
Let me ask you a question. Speaking of that, you just made me think about something. So the different kind of materials to wipe down and wash your car, like are there certain kind of sponges, certain kind of cloths you should be using or that you use specifically in order to not only wash the car, but also dry the car and in the different areas of the car that you have? Like, for example, you mentioned you have the rims, which everybody loves to have beautiful rims, right?
Yep.
And then you have the car itself. So are there different kind of sponges or cloths?
So I try to color coordinate everything. That way everything is not getting mixed up. So when you do go to wash, your tire rags is with your tire rags, your car rags is with your car rags, and then your wax rags or your polish rags is with your polish rags, and then your window rags. So
that makes a lot of
there
sense.
is.
I never thought about that. You know, it's interesting because when you go to the car wash, not that I've been there before, but if when you go to the car wash, realistically, they have the same thing that they're drying the car with on top and the bottom and the side. And you know what? You're right. There's different materials that are coming across different parts of the car that they're drying or washing the car with.
And then you're cross-contaminating the towels. So you have, like I said, the tires being put onto the paint of the car or the windows, and that's how you get micro scratches.
Micro scratches. What's a micro scratch?
So micro scratches, when you look into your paint and you see those little spider webs and those little curvages that you have in your paint, that's what a micro scratch is.
And that happens from
improperly washing your car. So say you have some people that really don't know. They'll have a tool that they'll use to wash their rims and then they'll put it on the paint. So you have little rock chips that you pick up from the ground. Minute,
little, just tiny little pieces.
Literally. And then you're putting it onto the paint and then now you're micro scratching it. Or as we discussed earlier, you have dust on your car and you'll wipe it off with your hand or wipe it off with a rag. You want whatever you wipe a car up, you want to have something damp. So like some type of detailer spray, that way you're not.
I messed up. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
I scratched Dave's car.
You know, it's funny because, like, you know what? You see, like, sometimes kids, they take their fingers, they touch your car with, and then the handprint is there, and you can't get rid of the handprint. How about that? Like, my daughter, like, she'll, let's say, touch the inside of your windshield. You're like, oh, don't touch that. Or not the windshield, but the window.
It's the oils from the hand.
And it's fun. That does not just come off very easily. And there's oils in the hand, like you just said, Eric. And, you know, when you touch something, and then to clean it, like, so let's go back to the fact that I love the fact that you use different color washing cloths, etc., for different parts of the car, because that right away takes away the common sense and mistakes from happening with cars getting washed in parts of the. Because if something using your tire to your paint, boom, micro scratches are going to happen.
Yep. And on top of that, even with the wash mitts, I have different colors. So I have green for the bottom part, and then I have blue for the top part. So that way you're not mixing them up.
So when clients come to get their car washed, right, that's the first time they came to you. They've heard of you by word of mouth most of the time.
Yes.
And that might be the strongest type of referral in our business as well as your business. And when someone comes to you as a referral, say, hey, listen, my buddy Joe, he said you're amazing. You do a great job on the cars. But they're still a little apprehensive. And they don't know what it costs to have a car detailed or what's involved in it, right? Yeah. And when it comes to car detailing, there's different kind of levels of packages or things that are included, and you have different sizes of cars and different color cars.
Yep.
So let's start with colors for a second. Does it make a difference what color a car is that's being washed?
So you have black cars, which is a little bit tougher than the normal cars because black cars shows everything.
I just picked up a brand new black car, and I've realized that buying a black car, your car is almost always under a microscope of being dirty.
Literally.
It's amazing how dirty a black car is very easily and very simply.
Yeah, but like I said, if you properly maintain it, then you won't have that problem.
Well, that's something we have to work on a weekly basis for sure. Because again, black on black on black, which looks so hot,
Yeah.
thanks to my wife Valerie, my son Daniel, who are my confidants on picking out my car, my color, and everything else we did. I will tell you that I did not realize what kind of life of walking to my car every day, making sure that it's shiny and clean. I have to make that emotional, like, oh my God, I see it's dirty again.
But like I said, going forward, you already know what we're gonna have to do.
The right product, the right person, the right profession, it makes a difference on the right outcome. So let's talk about so you have a basic package of like cleaning a car. What goes into a basic cleaning of a car? Now, I want to tell you something in advance that when Anthony does a basic package or cleaning a car, it's not like going to your regular car wash auto detailing place. He takes it way further than that. He takes a lot of pride and personal heart. It's a matter of fact. Well, anyway, tell me about the basic. What's involved in basic cleaning a car?
So the basic cleaning a car, I'll clean it as if it's my car. So that's what customers are always wanting. So basic cleaning, number one, I make my own soap. So in my soap, I have ceramics. I have wax that goes in it that makes it longer than your traditional car wash. And like I said, and it's pH balanced.
So does that mean that they have to go to the car? They would have to come to you less frequently?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Then, like I said, then going through the car wash. With that, washing the exterior, getting the undercarriage, getting all in the wheel wells, because when you go to the typical car wash, they don't really wash your rims or whatever. Like I said, getting to the wheel wells, getting into the face of the rims, depending on the severity of it, getting into the barrels, cleaning the door jambs, a light vacuum on the inside, and a wipe down. But but like I said before, my car wash is somebody's detail. So
what's an average time for a car to get a basic detail? Is it something we drop the car off in the morning, or it's something you can sit there and wait for?
So the average time for a basic wash is, I'll say, probably like an hour and a half, as opposed to going through the typical car wash.
For 15, right? 5 minutes, 3 minutes, exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, are you lifting the hood of the car at that point, or is that different? That's a separate detail.
Oh no, that's a separate detail.
Okay, so somebody who's got like their fancy car, let's say like Eric, who's got this brand new Benz that he wants to have completely detailed, and he wants you to lift the hood up. Now, what happens with that kind of detail? What is that called?
So that's an engine bay cleaning.
Engine bay cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Engine
bay.
Oh, bay. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it's fine. So with the engine bay cleaning, I typically open it, and like I said, if you have any debris, I vacuum everything out.
You're gonna see lots of debris in Eric's car.
And so
some body parts, some hair.
Hey, we can clean all that up.
Your normal debris.
It just be between us. So with that, I use a steamer.
Yep.
So with that, working on high-end cars, I don't want to have to pay you for messing up your engine. So I use steam, and then you have some people that use power washes. But between steam and, like I said, just a rag and a degreaser or whatever, and then take everything off and then recondition everything.
So the engine now looks gorgeous, right? Now, does that last a while?
So it all depends on the elements. So you have some people that work in dusty areas. So say you work in a bus company and you drive in and it's dusty,
right?
Or you work in a garage,
right?
Or it's the summertime, but it all depends. But as long as you're wiping it off every now and then, it lasts.
Okay. So you have, again, the basic packages, which is basically outside to inside. Yeah. Then you have other parts of the car that some people may do once a year, like the engine.
Yeah.
Or maybe more often. I'm not sure. I guess depending, like you said, like where do you keep your car? Do you keep it in a place where you're a construction site where there's dust and dirt all the time? By the way, speaking of that, they're doing construction here at their office over here, which is not so exciting because of the fact that there's all this dust flying around. and usually Eric and I park in front. And I noticed that we've been parking in the back more because of the fact of all this dust been flying around.
No, it's because there's no spots up front.
No spots up front. The trucks over there too. I've been parking in the back just because that dust that's flying off the construction site, if you will.
I'm not worried about dust. I'm worried about bricks.
Right, the bricks.
So
So,
I can wipe off.
right. So you were saying, I'm sorry.
No, so if it's something like that, and like I said, you're really anal with it, once the car is clean, just get you a nice cover, and like I said, cover it up, and once you leave, take it off.
It's not a bad idea to buy a car cover, you know, especially if you're parking all day long in a place. Although, you know what? I'll tell you something else. You have a car that you love, and it's beautiful, it's so hot. You want people to see it because they kind of eyeball it.
But they're gonna see it once you leave.
That's
and
true.
then everybody else that's on the road to see it. But
That's
like I said,
true.
I'd rather keep it dust free.
Yeah.
That's just me.
As I saw the cars in your shop. By the way, Jonathan, I'm not sure if you had a chance to show the people yet a little about what we have over there at Anthony's place. The beautiful place that he has. It's a new shop. It's been there about 2 years now in that location.
About a year and a half.
Year and a half.
No.
Jonathan, did you happen to show some film on the auto? No. Do you want to show through it for a second while we're talking? While we're not talking, we're going to hold off for 1 second. You're going to show it? All right. Jonathan's going to show you a little bit of the Nice Touch Auto Detailing place just so you can see what's going on. We're back live on Facebook. Instagram's been watching and waiting for us while we're chatting back and forth. We do have a question from Robert Marcarelli. Thank you so much for asking, Rob. The question was, how do we get rid of micro scratches?
Okay, so
And that's a great question, Rob.
So with micro scratches, you would do paint correction. So
Is that something you take care of and do?
yes. So with paint correction, like I said, you assess the problem, whatever. So depending on how deep it is, so sometimes you have scratches that's finger deep. If it's finger deep, then you might have to use a little bit of wet sanding or whatever.
A little what?
Wet sanding.
This guy is so quiet. He's got this soft voice. By the way, he's not. He's also a singer, by the way. He's not doing cars. But let's go. Okay, go ahead.
So depending on the depth of the scratch, like so, you may have to do wet sanding. But in order to remove it, you'll do paint correction. So you'll buff the car. So when you buff the car, it removes the imperfections that you have on the car. So like I said, micro scratching, marring, paint transfer, whatever you have that's on the car that's not fingernail deep.
These are new words to my vocabulary.
Paint transfer, is that when you hit a red car? And
Yeah, a red car
or your paint on your car now?
Yeah, or you hit scrape up against something and you have the whole white across the car or whatever.
Oh, wow.
That's how you remove it. So you'll buff the car. So when you buff the car, you're removing microns or whatever. Then after you buff it, you polish it to bring back the shine, and then you wax it. So when you wax it, you're protecting the paint.
By the way, speaking of Robert Marcarelli over there, this guy is a guy we have to get on the show. He is a restaurateur, and he's also, it's called Pi LLC. And what he does is he opens up restaurant businesses. Wicked knowledgeable. I know him for many, many years. He's an amazing chef. Lived together with him with a bunch of friends. We'd come home from the bar, and he would go into the kitchen, and he would whip up from nothing in the cabinets a complete meal for us to eat. All right, that's Rob Marcarelli. Just want to touch on him for a second. Amazing person. Got to get Rob on the show.
Thanks for the question.
Go back to Anthony, and thank you for the question, Rob. So going back to, so we got the basic wash.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on this auto detail correction of paint, paint correction. Now, with car cleaning, you have many kinds of services that are add-ons and a la carte type products.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about some of the add-on products you have for cleaning a car and detailing.
So you have some.
Actually, I shouldn't use the word cleaning. It's a detail.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So you have some people, for instance, like we talked about earlier, you guys can have the same exact car, same exact model, same exact gear.
That wouldn't be allowed, by the way.
But
I wouldn't stand for that.
he keeps his in the garage, and then you keep yours.
Benz and BMW, and his car is beautiful. My car is beautiful. And what we need to do is actually both bring our cars to have you do the service, because one's white, one's black. and I know mine's going to be a pain in the butt all day long, but let's kind of go back into what you're saying. I'm sorry. So the different a la carte items.
Yeah, so like I said, it all depends on, like I said, the car. So he can have his in the garage, and you can have yours outside. You can smoke cigarettes. You have pets, so every car is.
That is not true, by the way. He doesn't smoke cigarettes, and I don't have pets anymore.
I'm just giving an example. And then also, like I said, you can have pet here or whatever. So that's why every car is different, just like our personalities is different.
You're absolutely right. You know, speaking about that, with people with pets, and you know, that's a tough one because pets have lots of hair, and it takes a lot of. You don't realize when you have pets the kind of hair that's all over the place, right? And especially, let me ask you a question. Speaking of people with pets, are there special things you can put into the car to make cleaning the car later on easier for you?
So you have some people that can put the pet covers in the back seat.
Yes.
That way everything is not as bad in the back seat. But if you have a pet, of course the hair flies and go
Flies.
everywhere.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, literally.
In the vents, the air vents, you got hair.
So if they have cloth seats, is there any kind of Scotch guarding that they can do that
Or-
are protected from staining?
Or what you do in addition to that?
Well, I actually do use Scotch Guard.
Okay.
They have different types of products that you can use to propel liquid or propel stains or whatever. They,
Cheerios.
and like
Fruit
I said,
Loops.
For those with kids,
Fruit Loops, Cheerios,
a soggy Cheerio on your seat. Come on.
how about fruit snacks who get dried in the sun and they, oh my God,
and
melt
get-
on the seat?
Yes.
get baked in. But that's
My
what I
wife
have.
had a melted, hold on a second. I don't know how my daughter did this. She actually had, what I should say called is the candy,
Gummy bear.
it's like a gummy bear. It's what I just mentioned. It was called the fruit snacks. And they melt like glue onto your seat or your window. I have no idea how this even happened. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so with that, the way you would take that out is with
Screaming and yelling.
no, with a steamer or extractor. Like I said, you'll pre-treat the spot and then steam it or whatever, or extract it. But it's literally it's so much that goes into interior detailing, and then there's times where, like I said, you have to do seat removal so you can actually get to wherever the stench
Really?
is. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting you say about seat removal because I have thought of times, especially, it's not fair to my wife exactly because my daughter loves to be in her car. As a matter of fact, I went to pick her up the other day from daycare in my car, and she started screaming and yelling, "No, I want mommy's car," okay? Because she feels more comfortable in mommy's car. But mommy's car becomes a
Free-for-all?
free-for-all with mess, and it's not fair. I walk in the back of her car, and between the dolls and all this stuff, but that's the food, like you mentioned, the Cheerios, or the food, you know, there's French fries because she stopped at McDonald's or whatever it is, and like the juices, or even if it's just the food itself that sits there, it's hot weather, it's cold weather, and these things that get stuck in the carpets. So it really is something where if you have a wife or girlfriend or somebody who has got a baby, I can guarantee you they'll appreciate Anthony and his auto detail in place because they deserve have a nice car cleaned, you know?
And you should see some of the cars that I brought from the dead back to life. Like,
Believe
the
it.
customers are coming and be like, "That's my car." I'm like, "Yeah, that's your car. It only took me X amount of hours." But yeah.
So selfishly, earlier we were talking about some of the things that we can do to the exterior of the car that kind of limit the amount of damage that can be done to it, or how frequently we need to like wash or stuff like that. Tell us about the ceramic coating and what that brings.
Okay.
So hold on, I just want to tell you, that's an amazing question. I want to just say it because ceramic coating is very deep. So Eric, did you know about ceramic coating before you had the Mercedes?
I had heard of it, but it was like for people with fancy cars.
Right? So before I got this car, he got a Mercedes recently out of BMW, and I had never heard of ceramic coating. As a matter of fact, I actually asked you about it, didn't know what ceramic coating was, and it blew my mind that I was like in a different level of cars. But ceramic coating can be done to any car.
Literally.
And I was just telling my wife the other day, like, we have to start getting more educated about, anyway, ceramic coating. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So ceramic coating is pretty much like, I like to make an example. It's an extra protection, a layer of skin. So it's pretty much like you're putting another clear coat over your existing paint. And it's pretty much like a liquid polymer that goes onto your existing paint. And you put it on, make sure everything is level.
But it's not. Hold on. Before you put this on, you're skipping some steps over. You're not telling the viewers exactly what's involved there. So before you can actually put on this in the car, you've got to.
Yeah, you have to deep clean. So I was just telling you what the ceramic coating is.
Start from the beginning, though. Go deep, because don't make light of it, because this is a major process.
Okay, so
this is hours.
Days.
Yes, days.
Yeah, days. So with ceramic coating, the car has to be literally completely flawless.
Like ionized, clean, inside out.
So with that, you're, like I said, washing the car properly, claying the car properly. So when you clay the car, clay removes any contaminants that you have embedded into the paint. So you can wash the car a million times and it won't come out. Really? The only way to remove it is to clay it or use some type of iron remover. And the iron remover is what removes brake dust, rail dust, any fallout that comes from when you're driving on the road. So say your car kicks up brake dust and flows onto his, or if you live near the train station and the rail dust that comes from there, or even the fallout or from bird dropping. And then another thing, while we're on bird dropping, whatever you get bird dropping, you want to take it off the paint,
immediately.
Yeah, because if not, it'll etch into the paint.
No kidding.
And then you have birds. Birds eat anything, so they have rocks. They have all types of stuff inside the bird doodle. So I'm gonna go back to the ceramic thing, but
it usually lands on the glass though.
So the glass.
Unless your car's black, because it lands right on top of the hood. Go ahead.
And then you have some people that don't know, so they'll get a rag or get their hand and literally start wiping down. And once you do that, you're literally scratching the car because you have rocks and all types of.
So then I got a question for you. So this is completely unrelated to the detailing and stuff like that, but so when it snows and we're using this brush to clear the snow off our car.
Wow.
And our car was dirty before it snowed.
Wow.
Then we're just really scratching the hell out of our cars, aren't we?
That's a really interesting.
Pretty much for.
We just went through it. So.
But this is the thing: if you have ceramic or if you have some type of wax or some type of something protecting your car, then you're fine.
So the ceramic.
I'm doing the ceramic coating. You don't need to tell me on that.
Oh no,
that's a very good point. That's a very good point. If you,
it's a soft brush, and you think you're just brushing the snow off your car,
right?
Because you get a ticket on the road if you got snow on your hood,
or on the roof.
Snow on your roof. So you're scratching the heck out of your car and you don't even know it.
But you have special tools. So for instance, you have foam that you can actually use. So you're not using no actual brush.
What do you mean foam?
So you have foam snow removers. So when you go to brush it off, instead of brush, it's a foam.
What?
So foam is more safer than.
Did you hear about that? Did you know this is a foam?
No.
So the foam is a foam brush you can use to clean snow off your car.
Yeah. Never
heard this before. Need to look into this also. All right.
Or if you have a leaf blower, you can literally blow the snow off the car. But you have to go out there frequently while it's still soft and blow it up.
That's a pretty smart idea. It doesn't hurt the car, the paint, and
no.
Wow.
So I use an actual battery operated blower, not a gas.
To get the snow off your car.
If I've got the ceramic coating, then I'm not really too worried about it, right?
Oh no, I mean with the ceramic coating, all it is a protective layer of skin. It's not going to make your car invincible. Like if you go out and have an accident, of course.
But the ceramic coating that you have on your car makes a huge difference as to the actual level of scratches or anything in your car, because it's got I'll call it like a bulletproof shield to many of the elements.
Yeah, and you have a nice hydrophobic, so when it rains or whenever you put water on it literally beads right up.
Does the ceramic coating go on the glass too or no?
So ceramic coating can literally go on the entire car, so it can go in
outside the inside.
So I'll never need my wipers again?
Oh no, of course you need your wipers. All how you maintain it.
But it will bead off for a while for sure.
Okay. So for instance, I ceramic coated my wife's car, and I did it purposely. So
Iana, how you like that beautiful waxed, detailed ceramic coated car?
So I did it purposely. I didn't use the windshield wipers, and I was going down the highway, and it's pouring rain, and it's just beating off.
So going back to the ceramic coating is many different options for 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there's different prices associated that people need to call and speak with you. Jonathan, do me a favor, please make sure that if you don't have it already, Anthony's number on the screen for everybody to have. So because if want to call his business or his cell phone, how do you work that, by the way?
So it's my cell phone is my business.
All right. So we have a card in front of us. I'm going to read out the number to Jonathan to make sure Jonathan actually has it on the screen. So Anthony Brown, the Nice Touch Auto Detailing in North Haven. Location is 50 United Drive in North Haven. And it's a little hard to find at some point, but it's not, because he's going to have a beautiful big sign in front of it. I went there today with Jonathan, and it was a little difficult because it's in another, it's sharing with the building out there. Won't mention the building's name yet, but we'll make sure there's a nice sign out there soon.
Okay.
50 United Drive.
Unit A, Unit B.
Unit
A and B.
Unit A and B. His phone number is 203-668-8164, and that is your cell number.
Yes.
Now, when you got a guy who owns his own business, that his cell number is your business number, that's a guy who's serious. He's like a real estate agent, like Eric and I. Your cell number is out there, right? And you have a website, is that correct?
Yes.
And what's the website for people to share with them, please?
www.anicetouch.com.
So www.anicetouch.com. And with that being said, make sure to check out his website. It's still in the works. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that Tiana, does Tiana help you with that website?
Yes. So
she's one heck of a woman. Let me tell you this, Tiana. She is a graphic designer. She's an icon of social media. And let me just tell you, she's definitely working on it. You mentioned earlier before we got into the show that you want to offer something out to the people, the listeners.
Yeah. So I believe you said a raffle, right?
A raffle.
So I'm willing to give a detail out.
That's awesome. So we got a free detail raffle ticket to be won. If you're interested in this raffle prize, you're going to have a couple of options. You can do it through Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Let us know if you're interested in this raffle, and we'll draw a name next to the next show. That'll be fantastic. I mean, that'll be a very exciting thing to do. I just want to mention a couple more things because I know we're running a little over time.
Okay.
You do also, you do the powder coating. Powder coating.
Yes. So
powder coating involves?
So with powder coating or painting the rims, so I'm able to, a lot of people have curb rash in their rims, so it was a curb rash.
Curb rash.
So a lot of mothers that don't know how to drive and they go over the
or
curbs.
dads
Or kids.
Single anyone?
Yeah, not at all. We never do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The rims, they are jacked up and need to be.
Yeah. Need to be resurfaced or anything. I'm able to resurface them. Say if you have alloy or whatever color you have, you can change the color.
Very cool.
Also, I remember the last time I parallel parked next to a curb. I really can't.
Or we also
got VIP parking everywhere.
It's usually stalls and stuff like that. Yeah, or I park in a driveway.
Yeah.
Like when I'm showing a house, I pull into the driveway if I can.
That's fair, reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, well, parallel parking. It's you know what? It's since you say that city life, it's more parallel parking, right? It's a good point.
I grew up parallel parking.
That's
New York, so.
So you're from the city.
City, yeah.
He's from the Queens, baby.
Gee.
The Queens.
The Queens.
Bronx is
All right, so he does powder coating. You do also one more thing is you do headlight restoration. Now, anybody out there with headlight restoration needing, that means that when you have your lights in front of the car that are cloudy, that means you need a headlight restoration. Quickly, what does that involve?
So headlight restoration, you're pretty much restoring your factory or whatever you have headlight. So most people have, like you said, cloudiness or from sun damage. So with that, you're able to, depending on how bad it is, you wet sand, buff, polish, and seal, and then you'll bring it back to pretty much a brand new finish. Yeah, but it all depends on the severity of it.
Some nice LED lights, so the nice, really bright lights that people like to have in the middle of the night when they're driving. You do that also.
Yes, we also install, like I said, LED lighting, remote starts.
I see also these cars that got like the lights under the cars or blue lights or inside the cars. Do you do that kind of stuff too?
Yeah. So, like I said, you do.
You thinking of doing that?
Well, my car has it on the inside of the car when you drive, but I need a lot of cars that
that want to do upgrades. And
right.
You have some people that, say for instance, I don't know if your car have it when you open the door, it says BMW or whatever.
Yes, but that's really cool. That's a nice feature that you can get.
I also offer accessories and like pretty much you name it, like a one-stop shop.
I love it. I love car swag. So we got ceramic coating. We got headlight restoration. We got calipers. You change colors of calipers too, by the way.
Just too much to mention.
There's a
So
lot.
I'm on the website now, and it's like, you've got clay bar, restoration of rubber and plastic trims.
Yeah.
It's really too much for us to mention here.
It really
You really
is.
should check out the website, and if you have any questions, just contact them
Yes.
and ask, what the favorability of some of this stuff is.
So with the plastic trims, that's for people that have like Jeeps, or say your plastic like looks really, really, really old. Like I said, you bring the oil back and protect it, and I literally make it look brand new. So I bring the cars literally from the dead back to life.
All right, guys, if you're out there and you want to change the way your car looks and you want to really improve the not only outside of the car, but the inside of the car, that when you roll up on someone's house, you roll up on your own family house, you're out there driving around, cruising with the tunes out, the summer's coming on, the spring's coming out, the sunshine, and you want your car to look great, give Anthony Brown a call. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee you. I'm putting my name on it, which is a lot, because if I put my name on something, that's everything, right?
Yes.
My word is everything, and Eric's going to put his name on it too. When it comes to our clients, we know how we treat people, and we know how you treat people,
Yes.
and making sure that that car looks absolutely fantastic. He's going to take good care of you. Please reach out to Anthony Brown. You're not going to want to miss this opportunity. He's amazing. All right, listen. Yes.
And I'm also IDA certified in BBB as well.
IDA certified in on the Better Business Bureau's website as a top-rated company to work with. That says a lot about you.
Yes.
It really is fantastic. All right, Jonathan, we have a free tumbler to give away, and we're going to do that right now with a new winner. By the way, Heather Knotts with her beautiful tumblers will be here, and that's another company. By the way. All right, so who's our lucky winner today there, Jonathan? Dum, dum, dum.
Dab Nails on Instagram.
Dad Nails.
Dab.
Nails on Instagram. Dab Nails, thank you so much. Please reach out to us. Let us know. We need to get your contact information. We can mail this out to you. We overnight it. Congratulations. Very excited to have you on the show today with us in this winning opportunity. Anthony Brown, you were awesome, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Tiana, thank you so much for everything you do in making this business grow.
Yes.
And to Mason and Ashton, your dad is awesome. And we're excited to see what it comes with this business and how this business continue to grow.
And I want to say thank you for allowing me to come on the show and showing what I have.
Absolutely, my friend. And we look forward to having you back on the show again.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we'll have you'll have Eric's car and my car at each other. Kind of.
You know what? Before and after photos.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I love it.
Wait to see my floorboards.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on the PowerCast, Team Powerhouse, every Tuesday night, 5 p.m. Sometimes we're a couple minutes late, but we cannot wait to see you every week and be on the show. Next week, we have a very special guest, by the way. Miss Connecticut, running from Wallingford. She's running for Miss Connecticut. We won't put out information who her name is yet, because if you don't know who she is, it'll be a surprise. She's an amazing girl, beautiful, smart, very exciting show next week. We can't wait to see you next week. Anthony Brown, you're awesome, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody, and we will see you next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Thank you so much.